So next topic is North Korea, Kim Jong-un. Today I'm like Kim Jong-un, right? Anyway, recently North Korea carried out its test of hydrogen bomb and launched a missile. Let's ask these smart people, Matthew and then Toby, about it. So, yeah, Matthew, what are the countries' reaction against North Korea? I mean, diplomatic maneuver, yeah.
Well, there are several countries involved, key players. So you've got the US, Japan, South Korea, Russia, China. The US particularly has been giving concessions to North Korea. North Korea sort of promises that it's going to stop its bad behaviour, so stop using its nuclear technology and give up its ambitions. And then in exchange for that, the US will give food aid. So you've got the diplomatic manoeuvre. There is concessions between both sides. It doesn't just go one way. North Korea needs to give something up and give something, and the US does too. But this has been seen by some Americans, particularly Republicans, as Obama appeasing North Korea. And other manoeuvres in North Korea one of them has been détente, so relieving the tensions. And one example of this is the reunions of families separated after the Korean War. So North Korea and South Korea engage with each other to arrange these meetings. They're usually in South Korea or North Korea. And there's also been significant developments in sort of trying to create ties between the North and the South, particularly economic ones and social ones. So one example would be the Kaesong industrial complex, which is in North Korea, but it's a joint project. It's quite ambitious. It's a very good idea to get links between the North and the South. So you've got the South using their technology and their capital, which is far superior to the North, but the North uses their labour and their land, which is superior to the South. So there you've got mutual benefit. So both countries actively engage with each other in this one complex. So it aids North Korea and it aids South Korea. So that creates dialogue, which sort of puts the dispute and the tensions to one side. We've also seen quite recently China using a diplomatic manoeuvre of estrangement. China, as you know, is North Korea's most important ally. And after the hydrogen bomb test and the satellite launch, China used very strong language saying that North Korea needs to pay the necessary price for their actions. So that's very strong language coming from North Korea's most important ally. And China has been working with the US within the context of the UN Security Council to draft the new resolution. We see the UN very important in the North Korean dispute. They've drafted 4 resolutions and we expect another one to be on the way very soon.
What's about North Korea's reaction to international organization or international, other country?
From where my colleagues stopped them, for every country, when you pass through a sanction like this from international system, you expect the country to actually change. Just take for instance, the case of Iran, they actually set back and they thought through it and they actually changed. But in the case of North Korea, we've seen, despite the sanctions from the EU and the United Nations, North Korea has demonstrated the ability to actually endure international and economic restriction from the international system. So far, so good. North Korea has shown to us, like, okay, the idea of having a 6-party negotiation for the nuclearization, where you ask North Korea not to go, because the whole resolution of the international system is to stop North Korea from developing nuclear weapons. But North Korea has actually proved to the world that, okay, we can go, we don't need it, because this is what we need to protect our nation. It's like telling us not to develop nuclear weapons, like letting us out to the international system. So North Korea so far, first of all, you see they've gone so far as strengthening their ties with Russia, economic ties, where in 2014, you see Russia and North Korea, they strengthened their ties on economic and trade cooperation. Also, the ties with China, despite the fact that China is in the forefront in the international system trying to sanction North Korea, China still serves as a source for food and energy to North Korea. So from my own perspective, I feel where diplomatic talks need to bring out the necessary restriction, it has not. That's failed because the negotiation on the topic on ground is way far from North Korea's interest. North Korea's interest is to develop nuclear weapons to protect, the idea of protecting their own country, but the international system is saying that, okay, you need to stop it. So I don't see the interests of the international system going the same way with that of North Korea. I feel both the diplomatic negotiation process and the maneuver system, presently it won't work. And North Korea's response to this is going way different from what the international system is saying.